that is going to build a lot of disease, and it's not going to allow you to sleep.
I felt like I was being fake.
Emotion is not something you have, it is something you generate.
Rise and shine!
It's Entspresso time.
Hey, it's Carmichael, and I am not a morning person. I'm not. But if you start your day with a thing that inspires you, like watching this video, it will change your life. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee, know that I believe in you, and get ready for a shot of Entspresso from Lewis House.
I wake up every morning. Espresso keep me going. I wake up every morning.
You mentioned this earlier, you have a lot of masks.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about some of these various masks that men wear. One of the first ones you talk about is the Stoic Mask.
Stoic Mask, you know, the man that has to have it all together, that never shows emotion, that's strong, but doesn't open up, you know, who's just got a look on his face constantly, and you never know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
But he's always strong, always reliable, but doesn't really show emotion. That's a heart attack waiting to happen. For a guy that can't express himself, the guy that can't open up, the guy that can't feel, because he has to be so tough that he can't feel, or so strong in that moment emotionally that he can't feel, that is going to build a lot of disease. And it's not going to allow you to sleep. Being the sleep expert, it's hard to sleep when you got that much emotion bottled up and you're just like this all day long. Just like, I got to keep it together. I got to keep it together. How are you going to sleep if you haven't let things go? Your mind is going to be racing. You're not able to talk about things. You're not able to let things go. Your mind's going to be racing. And it's going to hurt you. It's going to compound. Like you said, I think you said there's no such thing as like a sleep bank. You can't like get it back, I don't think, right? And so it's a heart attack waiting to happen. And you get to feel. You're a human being. You know, when I was a kid, and I lived with Stoic Mask a lot, when I was a kid, I used to feel all the time. I used to cry more than girls. Like, I used to feel. I used to like reach out for my mom. I used to be emotional, sad, you know, happy, and feel. And then I was told that wasn't cool a number of times in sports or whatever it was to do that. And so I started to wear that mask. And it affected me, you know. I'm not saying I need to be a crybaby every single day and cry and be vulnerable all the time and like constantly express myself. We get to be discerning as well and know when and how, but we got to have a process for these things. Otherwise, we're going to be causing so much disease within ourselves and other people.
Learning to express yourself is not only the solution for you to have a happy life, but also to have a positive impact on the world. A lot of people are afraid to express themselves. A lot of people are afraid of saying what's on their mind. You're afraid of being judged. You're afraid of not having the answers. You're afraid of looking scared, of looking weak, where in reality, the more that you hide, the less happy you're going to be, and the more that you're trying to be perfect, the less people will learn from you. This is something I really struggled with at the beginning of my journey on YouTube, sharing stories and making videos. I was afraid of fully expressing myself. I was afraid of not being perfect. I was afraid of not having the answers. And it took me a long time to actually be proud of my own content. And I didn't know why. I couldn't put my finger on it. Like, why? Why do I not like the videos I'm making? And it's because I felt like I was being fake. I knew in my heart I wasn't. I wasn't fake. My intention was good. I wanted to serve. But when I watched my content back, it felt like I was being fake. And that really bothered me. If you're somebody who hates being fake and then you see yourself coming off as fake, that's gonna destroy you. And so it took me a long time to get my finger on the pulse of why, but also to practice and get better. It was 350 videos until I wasn't completely embarrassed by myself, and then 700 videos before I inspired myself. And that 700 videos, these are public videos on YouTube, just to show you my journey and how much I struggled and sucked at the beginning. That 700th video was an emotional video for me. I went to a mastermind meeting where I was helping some entrepreneurs And I got really frustrated, maybe with everybody, I think, at that meeting. I wanted them to play a bigger game. They wanted them to play a bigger game. The answers seemed so clear to me of what they should do next, and I was telling them what to do. And there was a lot of resistance. There's a lot of defensiveness. And for whatever reason, I couldn't break through. I wasn't a good enough coach. I wasn't a good enough guide or mentor, and I couldn't break through to them. And I went home frustrated because we had all signed up for this group, this mastermind, to push each other to go and accomplish bigger things, to be accountability partners for each other, and to do that, to give them that loving push forward. And I was trying to do it, and just for the first time, I think in a long time at those meetings, I had that clarity of here's what has to happen next for you. And I couldn't communicate it well enough for them to take action. And so I came home, it was a long day, and then the meeting, so it was 11 o'clock at night or something. And I remember just sitting on the floor, and I pressed record on my laptop, and it was low light. I didn't want to wake up anybody, in the house. And I low-key went full expression mode. I was expressing my frustration for the first time in front of a camera. Not throwing anybody under the bus, not saying names, not taking on anybody, just explaining the situation. And without yelling, because I couldn't be too loud in the home. And I just, no editing, published. And I remember feeling good about it, in the moment, like, hey, pat myself on the back. I'm proud of you, Evan, for doing that, for pressing record. But then I remember looking at it the next day and like, wow, you know what? That's a good video. Suddenly, I don't feel fake. I don't feel like the message was fake. And why? Well, because I actually just leaned into what I needed to express in that moment. I leaned into the frustration. And if somebody watched that video and felt like it was too harsh or too whatever the judgment may be, I don't care. This was me. And so it took me 700 public videos, guys, 700 public videos, Jesus, until I could do it, until I finally make that breakthrough. And hopefully you can get there a lot faster. But that is the secret to self-acceptance, to self-happiness, to self-love, but also to have an impact, because you're here to serve, to make your mark on the world, to have an impact. And we need to hear your emotions. We need to hear not how you're always perfect and have it all figured out, because that seems unattainable. I need to know what you're going through and why it means so much to you. And that requires not having a perfect script all the time. My early videos had the perfect script, the perfect words, but they were delivered with such lack of enthusiasm because I was so worried about saying the wrong word that the message very rarely landed. They were the perfect words, but the perfect words said without the intent doesn't land. With the imperfect words led with heart, passion, conviction, energy. I make these videos, there's no script. I watch, video, and then I quickly come up with, okay, what's my opinion on this? And then boom, record. It's less planned out for sure. The words are definitely not perfect, but there's a lot more emotion, a lot more heart, and that sways people a lot more. So how do you do it? How do you start to self-express more? How do you use that for self-love as well as to make the impact that you want to have on the world? Number one, recognize that your story has value, that what you went through isn't some blemish, isn't some scar, isn't some thing that you have to hide from, that if you believe, like I believe, that your purpose comes from your pain, that you're here to serve the world, that thing that happened to you is the thing that will save other people. Like how you got out of the hole you were in is a lesson, is a recipe to help teach other people. So your story then means something. Your story, sharing it, isn't about your ego and us praising you for how great you are. It's about connecting to people. Because before people will listen to the advice that you have, they need to know that you're like them. Otherwise, they won't listen to you. So your story has value. It's actually selfish not to share your story. It's the most selfless act to share what you've been through. So number one, your story has value. Number two, anytime you're feeling an emotion, train yourself to create something. Train yourself to, if you want to be a thought leader, make content. Make a video, write that poem, create an Instagram, caption, whatever your art style is, create. One of the things I told Alex on my team from Trying to Dance Salsa when he was practicing this, any emotional state you're in, record. You feel happy, record. You feel grateful, record. You feel frustrated, angry, sad, upset, record. Make a video, record. Record it, tell me. Tell me how you feel, tell me the story, and then tell me what you're gonna do about it. If you're happy and positive and grateful and inspired, great. Let me feel that. Give me the gift. Share that gift with me. If you feel inspired, motivated, share that gift. Don't keep it to yourself. Tell me where it came from. Tell me your message. Me watching you be all motivated and inspired can inspire me as well. Share that gift. Don't keep it to yourself. And if you're feeling low, sad, depressed, anxious, share that too. Make me feel like I'm not alone. That, oh, this person struggles with that as well. And then tell me what you're gonna do to get out of it. If you're struggling with anxiety right now because you've got some big appointment coming up, or you're struggling with self-worth right now because you let somebody down, or you disappointed somebody, or you feel not good enough, tell me, bring me inside, and then show me what you're gonna do to get out of it. What's your next step? Are you gonna change your state? Are you gonna model success? Are you gonna go for a walk? Are you gonna meditate? Are you gonna watch an Evan Carmichael video? Like, what are you gonna do as your next step to get to where you need to go? Because the inspiration now becomes your willingness to try. So if you're feeling bold, powerful, motivated, great, I'm inspired by your energy. If you're in a negative state, I'm inspired by your willingness to try to get out of it. And that connects me to you. That makes me feel like you're a human. And that if you can do it, if you're even just willing to try to do it, that can inspire me to try to do it as well. Self-expression is the key to self-love, as well as having the impact that you want to have. And if you bottle it up and you keep it to yourself, it's not only the path to depression and an angry life, it's also the path to you not having an impact. You knowing you're capable of more, you knowing you want to serve, and your message never actually connecting. Whenever you feel that emotional moment, get in your head that it's not just about you, that this is a moment that could inspire millions of people as well. And it's your duty, it's your obligation to get it out there. Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you just watch a video and you get motivated, the sign says you have a 35% chance of following through. That's it, 35% chance. You're motivated, 35% chance of following through. But when you create a plan of action for what you're actually going to do, that jumps to 91% chance of following through. And when you commit to somebody else and make it public, that goes to 95%. Believe Nation, I want you to follow through. So tell me your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.
Good book by my man, Evan Carmichael, Built to Serve. If you want to learn about your purpose and how to become a better leader in the world, I love this. He says, this is the starting point for everything. If you're confused about what to do next, if you're pressured by others to fit in or live their version of your life, if you feel held back because of people judging you, it's because you don't know who you are and what you stand for. You got to figure out who you are and what you want and how you can serve other people.
Having people in my life who I can, when I'm on the road for X amount of time, or I'm dealing with a super hard client, or we're rolling out a leadership program to a Fortune 50 company, or I'm doing my first major deal with Oprah Winfrey Network, and I don't know what to do, I am so incredibly fast of asking people what to do. I'm also incredibly fast in sharing how I feel about it. Being like, I feel really awkward about this. I'm unsure. I'm having a lot of self-doubt. How would you deal with it? Like, I'm somebody who expresses his emotions all the time. My frigging tagline is bring the joy. Like, everybody knows that. Why? Because I want to make sure people know we're going to create this energy. Because emotion is not something you have, it is something you generate. Emotion can be an impulse, but feelings is our interpretations of those impulses over a period of time. And I said, I want to feel vibrancy, joy, love, connection, satisfaction, fulfillment in my life. So I'm going to learn to generate those emotions. How do you learn to generate the emotions? You read psychology. How do you learn to generate the emotions? You try. Like you're just like, I'm going to go, we're going to have date night tonight. I'm going to make it a fun night. I'm going to make it a fun night. I'm going to do things to see, can I make people laugh? Can I make people turn their lights on? You learn to control your own emotions and or deal with them in better ways as you decide to be a more mature person.
If you want another awesome Lewis Howes video, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
I think at our core, that's our deepest fear, that we're not going to feel love from someone.
Authenticity comes from vulnerability.